Here's some exciting news for the straw cell. It's still a good DIY, easy to make battery. It lasts a lot longer now, and it does this. That's 30 LEDs, all running. In the last video I showed how to take a flat battery like this, 0.459 volts on that one, which can't even run a dual thief. Take it apart, so you've got the bits, which is just the carbon rod from the inside of the carbon zinc cell, and then the outer casing of the zinc, and make a cell like this one, activated by either rainwater or using alum in the rainwater, and then it'll run things like this calculator. So that was quite a good success for making it, but definitely we could improve the electrolyte and make the cell stronger. So time for two more household kitchen ingredients, and these have made a massive difference. The first, distilled white vinegar. The second, natural sea salt. Now, to prepare it is very simple indeed. All you need to do is get the vinegar, pour some in a container, and like that, and then a teaspoon of the salt, and mix it up. That's it. And you see, you could put this into a small container, sealed container, to reuse time after time, because the point is, with these cells now, they are actually rechargeable, and they're rechargeable many times over. So basically, when it dries out after 2 or 3 days, you just pop it back into the solution or pour some solution down the end to wet the paper again, and off you go again. And of course, the other point there is the original battery was not rechargeable. So the next thing I'm going to do is to make one of these cells. I'm going to cut a strip of this zinc. You can get half a dozen cells out of each one of these casings, and I'm going to put it inside a piece of straw. We're going to make the cell up, and then we're going to test out the new electrolyte. There we are. That's a strip of the zinc, and we've got the paper. So what we're going to do is wrap the paper 3 times around the carbon rod and then 3 times around the zinc. The next thing I'm doing is to put it into a piece of straw that's about the same length as these pieces here, and it should be a tight fit. And there we go, the cell is done and ready. Now at this point it could be stored for years and years if you wanted. It's just dry, it's just sitting there. Put it in a little tin or something, make a few of them. You know, they're just there for running small devices in the future. But what we'll do next is I'll connect up the leads. We'll just pop it into the electrolyte and we'll see if this calculator comes on. Here we are, everything's evidently dry as you can see. Pop it into the solution here. Got to give it a little bit of time to start soaking in, but there you go, it's on. Fantastic. Yep, works absolutely fine. There we are, it's now activated without any charging. And this will run this, something like this calculator, for the next 3 days, something like that, until it dries out. And just pop it back into that solution again to run again. That's with no charging. So next, we'll move on to the charging. But first of all, let's have a look at the voltage here. 1.59 volts on this new cell. And it will come down to somewhere around about 1.4 and stabilise there. Also, current won't be much like this at all. Let's connect up and have a look. Yeah, there you go. It's just, well, it's a couple of milliamps. Now to charge it, ideally you want 4 or 5 volts at about 25 milliamps. And I'll leave this to charge for about 20 minutes. And alternatively, you could use something like a USB charger, as long as you've got, say, a 220 ohm resistor on it, such that it knocks that power down to about 25 milliamps. Otherwise you might get some gassing and corrosion and things happening on the inside of there. It'll just affect the abilities of the cell, of the straw cell. Now that it's done, let's check out those figures again. So first of all, the voltage, there we go, 2.4 volts. Now we'll check out the current. Here's the current, I'll connect it up. Oh, that started about 125, didn't it? and it's coming down very quickly, but it is a shorted load into this. So that's a heck of a lot more amperage, and it is, well, stabilising some, but it is still coming down. Oh, and under this shorted condition to the meter, yeah, it's stabilising there to around about 4 milliamps. Well, even after being shorted out like that, it's still able to run this sort of dual thief circuit without issues. But things get really good when you put two of these cells together. So Jazz, these 30 LEDs here, if we connect up, there we go, nice and bright. So those are the ones that you saw outside at the start of this video. Runs them very nicely. And also this old kitchen scale, it's lost its top plate, but I've taken the 3V coin cell out and I put a couple of wires to where that would go. So I'll connect up the straw cells and we'll see what happens. So there's the minus, and there we are, see if we can capture this. There's the plus. And hello, and there it is. Actually, does that weigh anything? Oh yeah, 2 grams. So scale does work on those straw cells. And for something else, here we have a flashlight, and I've attached where the battery would normally go. What it is, this one's got 4 LEDs on it. So let's have a look, see if it works. There we go. Very, very nice bright light there. That's great. Finally, I think I'll try something else actually. Now, as we know, there's enough power for these. Got my eye on that setup, you know, in the last video where I had the TV and the remote control. Now here's something that's been a surprise and a delight. We're now over 12 hours since I put these 2 cells on this flashlight. And how about that? A nice bright light still. That's fantastic. I'm really pleased about that. It's kept its power well. Well now, here's a bit of a test. I've taken these 2 cells off this torch, off this flashlight, and I've taken the batteries out of this remote, and this is the same setup as I had in the last video. And in that video I had to use a 1000 microfarad capacitor across the inputs, and that's the only way that this remote would work, but it did work and I was quite pleased. That was with 3 cells. This is with 2 and no capacitor. So let's see if it works. Does it switch on the TV? The answer is yes. So blue light on, TV comes on, fantastic. Switch it off. There we are. It switches it off. So 2 cells, about the same size as the 2 AAAs that were already in there. So there we are, size comparison. Just by changing the electrolyte, we've been able to get them to function the same as those AAAs. Here we go, just a quick little test again. There we are, switch on. Absolutely no issues, and it's all ready. Well, those cells are made, what, a good day ago now. It's been 12 hours since there was a charge, over 12 hours since there was a charge. They've also been running this flashlight a few times this morning. I couldn't believe it was still going, then thought, well, I best film it. And now it's just carrying on. I'll press it again to turn it off. So changing the electrolyte has been a really, really good improvement. So if you like this, if you could consider subscribing and liking. You people that stay to the end are the best people on the planet. And hopefully I'll see you next time.